What is going on, everybody? It is Christros here, and today we just have a bunch of videos we're going to be doing. As you can see my deck list here, we have like Ultra Athletes, Actual Sisters, we got Sprites, we got Nordics, we got Salmon Greats, we got I forgot what that one was. We got another sous ship video on the works. So like I said, we have a lot of deck lists coming up, guys. So there's going to be a lot more videos. I'm also doing some more shorts. So yeah, like I said, a lot of stuff to look forward to. So overall, I just wanted to say thank you, guys. I can't believe the support on my channel has been so amazing this past year. Yeah, so like I said, I hope you guys are having a good time. Hope everybody's enjoying the event. The 1 year anniversary just started. I hope you guys are getting some good pulls, and we should have a new event tomorrow. So yeah, this should be a lot of fun to play. But with that out of the way, let's get in today's video. So we're doing Adventurous Spright today. Now, Adventurous Spright, of course, playing these new Spright cards with the Adventure Engine. This is not the best Spright deck. Most likely, Runic Spright would be the best, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. If you guys want to play that, there's some really good deck videos out online, but this is what I've been playing, and it's been a lot of fun. So with that out of the way, let's get into the card by card, and I hope everybody enjoys. So firstly, the hand traps I've been playing is 3 Max C. Max C is a great card. If it's still in the game, we're going to abuse it. You guys know how that works. So like I said, Max C, definitely 3 of. With that, 3 Ash Blossom. We got 1 Crossout Designator, 2 Called by the Grave. So that's our hand trap lineup. That basically stops your opponent Ash Blossom and or Max C. So you want to run those 9 cards. I know it sucks, but until Max C gets banned, that's what we're working with. We got 1 Yamaka Orochi. I'm probably mispronouncing that. This is effectively a level 8, so we can make Baron to floor. With Deep Sea Diva, you could easily make a Baron line, and it's actually really good that way. So like I said, that's reason why we have Yamaka Orochi here. Yeah, so like I said, I really enjoy it. It's not necessarily the best card in the deck. You could easily cut this and add different, like 4 different cards that you want to add, depending on your playstyle, like more Spright names. But for myself, I've actually really enjoyed this line. So Alchemy Rishi with Deep Sea Diva. These cards are only in here as fodder to make Baron to floor. How this works, it's level 1. If it's used for a synchro summon, you could treat it as a level 8. You have to do this before you get locked in to like Spright Starter, because Spright Starter locks you into level 2s or rank 2s. So just an FYI on that. We got 1 Dupe Frog, 3 Deep Sea Diva. Deep Sea Diva is a cool card. When this card is a normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 3 lowest sea servant from your deck, and that monster is Yamaka. We got 3 Swap Frog. Swap Frog is an amazing card. It's been around for a very long time. You can special summon this card from your hand by discarding 1 other water monster. When this card is summoned, you could send 1 level 2 or lower aqua monster from your deck, or face up to the field to the graveyard. Once per turn, you could return 1 monster you control to the hand. You could normal summon 1 frog monster during your main phase this turn, except for Swap Frog, in addition to your normal summon / set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. 1 Rodent Totem. Rodent Totem is amazing. Can't be used for synchro summons, but what it does is this card is in your graveyard. You can banish 1 frog monster in your graveyard and special summon this card. This is not a once per turn. Now for our Spright names, we got 3 Spright Blue and 3 Spright Jet. All the Spright cards have the same effect where you control a level 2 or rank 2 monster. You can special summon this card, but they each have a different effect if they're special summoned. If Blue is special summoned, you could add 1 Spright monster from your deck to your hand, except for itself. Jet states if this card is special summoned, you could add 1 Spright spell / trap for your deck to your hand. Carrot, it's a monster negate. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you contribute 1 other rank 2 level 2 monster, negate that effect, and if you tribute summon a rank / link 2 monster, activate this effect, you can destroy that monster. Carrot is the spell negate, so if your opponent activates spell, you can tribute 1 other rank 2 or level 2 monster, negate that effect, and if you tributed a rank / link 2 monster, you can activate this effect, you can destroy that card. And then we got the Adventure. We have 1 Water Enchantress and 1 Griffin Rider. We got one Foolish Burial. That basically means we have 2 water entrances. Just how that works out. 1 Potter's Prosperity. We're using Pot. We had a 40 card. We had 39 cards. So I was like, Pot's probably the best card that we could use to kind of help get our plays. We got 2 Ride of Adamasier, 1 Draco back, 1 Faithful Adventure, 2 Spright starter. You can special summon 1 Spright monster from your deck, but lose life points equal to its original attack. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you can't special summon monsters except level, rank, / link 2 monsters. And you can only activate 1 starter per turn. We got 1 Smashers. Smashers is you can banish 1 Spright card from your hand or graveyard to activate 1 of these effects. You can special summon 1 Springheads from your deck or 1 Theron from your graveyard. You're not doing any of those. What you're doing is you can banish 1 rank, link 2 monster you control, and 1 card your opponent controls. So it's just a straight banish. So you can't really complain about that whatsoever. And it's non-targeting removal because it doesn't actually target. So cards that actually protect them from being targeted just bypasses that. So like I said, really good. And lastly, we got 3 infinite impermanents as our last kind of flex spot here. I've seen some people cut this and running like Dark Ruler instead and stuff like that, which is also a really good play if you really wanted to go that route. For our extra deck, we got 1 Baron de Fleur. We got 1 Sky Cavalry. Sky Cavalry can't be destroyed by battle while it has material. At the end of the damage step, if this called battle an opponent's monster, you can detach 1 material from this card, return that opponent's monsters to the hand. We got 1 Cat Shark. Cat Shark doubles the attack though of 1 rank 4 lower exceeds monster you control. So this could already get itself to 32. Then you could double its attack to 64. So it's a nice little OTK line. We got 1 Slow Sweeper, just came out with the Spright cards. You can detach 1 material from this card to target 1 monster your opponent controls, banish it until the opponent's end phase. If this card is in its owner's control is destroyed by opponent's card, you can target banished monsters up to the number of materials this card had, shuffle them into the deck. It's a really good removal. 3 Gigantic Spright. Gigantic Spright, for this card's like Seed Summon, you could treat link 2 monsters you control as level 2 monsters for material. The original attack of this card that has a fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link monsters material becomes doubled. During your main phase, you can activate this effect, detach 1 material from the monster you control, and if you do, special summon 1 level 2 monster from your deck. Also, neither player can special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except level 2 / link 2 monsters. Really good card. We got 1 Zeus since we do Xyz quite a bit. 1 Samite Outer Mirage, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 IP Masquerena, 2 Spright Elf. Spright Elf is a cool card. Can't be used as link material the turn it is link summoned. The opponent can't target monsters this card points to card effects. During your main phase, quick effect, you can target 1 level 2 monster in your graveyard, or if your opponent controls a monster, you can target 1 rank 2 or link 2 monster instead and special summon it. So it's a really good card. It just allows you to continue comboing off. We got 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Access Kotaku close out games, and our last one is Underworld Goddess. Not many people are playing this card, and it's a really good card. You could also use 1 monster your opponent controls as material to link summon this card. If this card is link summoned, you can negate the effects of all face monsters your opponent currently controls. This link summon card is unaffected by opponent's activated effects unless they target this card. Then once per turn, when the opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster from the graveyard, quick effect, you can negate the activation. This card is really good because a lot of people are putting up some pretty impressive boards, and this deck is really easy to get 3 cards out, and you could just Goddess their boss monster really easily. So there's the deck. It's been a lot of fun. I've actually really enjoyed it, and yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it. And I know Spright is very much frustrating right now, but once you kind of learn how to play against some of the cards, it should get a lot better. So like I said, with that out of the way, let's get into the games, and thank you guys so much. Thank you. Bye. Alright, so this first duel here is against Dinomorphia. Yeah, I'm not the best when it comes to facing Dinomorphia, to be honest with you. So yeah, there's pretty good stun deck. My opponent sets to activates Diplos. He sends 1 trap from his deck and he ends his turn. I'm like, okay, that's not actually bad. I could beat that. So I actually draw pretty decent here. So I got 2 Nimble Beavers. This is when I was using the Nimble package instead of the Deep Sea Diva. Nimble is a really good one, by the way, if you want to go that route. So just an FYI, there'd be 3 Nimbles basically instead of the Deep Sea Divas. And the last one was like the other nimble one. Anyway, the point is you could run that. So I got pretty good. I activate Wild Enchantress, see Ash Blossoms. I'm like, okay, I don't really care if this doesn't accomplish anything, but I'm still going to call by the grave that. Even if he negated that, I still would have had multiple lines to do stuff. So Ash Blastrom is now out of here. And now I'm going to stop popping off. So I get Rite of Admircere. I'm going to activate Rite of Admircere and get myself a token. Then at that point, I get Faithful Adventure. Faithful Adventure is going to activate, allow me to get Griffin Rifle. I do get rid of my Nimble Beaver since I can't normal summon. So I was like, I don't really care about that effect right in the moment. I should have played this differently. I misplayed, but that happens. Activate Griffin Rider. Then I do normal main special summon that. Faithful Adventure is going to allow me to get Draco back. Now I'm going to normal summon Swap Frog, and I'm going to special summon Spright Brew. Spright Brew is going to get me a carrot to my hand. At this point, I'm going to special summon Jet. Jet is going to allow me to get Starter. So I'm feeling pretty confident. Now at this point, I'm going to link them off into Gigantic Sprites. Sprite's effect, I'm going to detach, and I'm going to grab me Red, and I'm going to grab Carrots. And at this point, I'm going to link them off for an Elf. And an Elvis effect, I'm going to quickly get my Gigantic Sprite back onto the field. And I'm feeling this really confident. There's not too much. I'm going to Draco his Diblos, and I'm going to attack. And yeah, that's basically game. If my opponent doesn't have anything. If he does, I got a Spell Negate and a Monster Negate. So I'm going to attack for 2,000 for game. My opponent activates Ferret Flames, but I activate Care. I get rid of my Gigantic. And at this point, yeah, that's the end of the game. So, yeah, Ferret Frames, really cool card, but sadly I put up my negates and he couldn't do anything. So yeah, there's game one out of the way. I know I misplayed that. I'm not the best player. I never said I was, but I enjoy the game. Let's get into game number 2. Alright guys, this next duel here is against Pure Punk. The new Punk cards just came out, the Field Spell and Deer Note. So really exciting if you guys are like, you know, Punk fans like myself. So yeah, I draw pretty decently, but my opponent just ends. I'm like, huh, I don't know why he did that. So we're going to go first. I activate Water Enchantress. I'm going to see if I can bait out any interruption, and it works. I get Ash Blossom. I'm like, cool, I don't care. I have a great opening hand that could play through this still. So Water Enchantress gets negated. Activate Sprite Starter, and he's going to max C. I'm like, some people just have everything. Can't really do anything about Max C. I'm going to special summon Blue. Blue's effect, I'm going to get Jet to my hand, but he side frame Gammas it anyway. He literally opened up everything. Yeah, so I get Gamma'd, and at this point, I'm like, well, this really sucks. I'm going to set Rodent Totem and just end my turn. Yeah, I don't have anything. In his draw phase, I do Max C. I'm like, yeah, fuck you, I can do it too. He activates Crash Belt, and then he activates Wild Picking. So I'm like, cool, 2 cards I've never read before. I'm not going to start now. He activates the main. I've read this one, and then he gets Foxy Tune. He activates then he activates Deer Note in his hand, revealing Foxy Tune, and he special summons Foxy Tune since Deer Note. Now at this point, he is going to Synchro into the Amazing Dragon. Amazing Dragon is going to bounce my card, and then Foxy Main's going to gain it 600 more attack. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. That lethal. At this point, I didn't know what these 2 spell cards did. I wasn't reading them, but I got a pretty decent hand, so I'm going to end up having some fun. I activate Swap Frog's effect, discard Rodent Totem. Swap's going to activate, sending Dupe. Rodent Totem effects are going to activate, banishing the Dupe, special summon Rodent Totem. And at this point, I'm going to link off into Elf. Elf's effect, I am going to target Blue. Blue comes back. Blue's effect is going to activate. It allows me to get a Jet. Now I'm going to special summon a Jet. Jet's effect is going to allow me to grab a spell, and I do get Smashers. At this point, I activate Smashers, and I get rid of Sparters. I get rid of my Elf, and then his Amazing Dragon on top of that. And then I'm going to Synchro, exes off into Gigantic Sprite. Gigantic Sprite's effect is going to activate, and I get Red. Red is the monster effect. At this point, I do another Rodent Totem line with Red, and I get IP Masquerena. So then I got Swap Frog. Swap Frog's going to send another swap. I could have gone for another Rodent Totem line, but I was just going to leave it on this because that would have been a bounce. And yeah, so there you go. Punk is a really great deck. I have all the Punk cards. If you guys want me to do a Punk deck, please let me know down below. I'll be very interested in that. So let's get into game number 3. Alright guys, this next one is against Labyrinth. Labyrinth is still in a really good position right now, in my own opinion. Yeah, I don't think Labyrinth is a bad deck. I have multiple videos on it. I think it's amazing. So I end up going second here. My opponent activates Chandelier. He gets rid of Trap Trick and he sets Welcome Labyrinth. I'm like, okay. Then he sets 2 cards. I'm like, huh. We'll see how this plays out. In my draw phase, he activates Welcome Labyrinth. I want to Ash Blossom that. I don't want him special summoning to get more advantage. I know what the Labyrinths can do, especially with advantage. And at that point, he just concedes. I don't know what the other 2 sets were. But yeah, there you go. An easy game. Let's get to game number 4. Alright, guys. So this is against Twin Sister or Evil Twin. So I end up going first here. And I don't have the best hand. So I normal summon Nimble Angler. I do special summon Spright, Jet. Then Jet is going to allow me to get starter. I normal summon my new starter. He activates Max C. But don't worry, I do have an Ash Blossom. This is why you run everything I said with those 9 cards. Because this comes up. Starter is going to resolve. And it's going to allow me to get a blue for my deck. Blue is going to activate, allow me to get another Spright. I do get red. So then at this point, I'm going to go off into an Elf. And Elf's effects are going to activate, allow me to get my blue back. And at this point, I Xyz into gigantic Sprites. Spright effects are going to allow me detach to get Carrot. And I normal summon red. And at this point, I've set my infinite permanence in my go. He Hoppy's Feather. I'm going to let that slide. And I'm like, okay, cool. Then he Lava Golems and he sets 1. I'm like, oh no, you bricked. I feel so bad for him. So we should be able to wrap it up in this position though. Lava Golems are going to give me 1,000 damage, but I don't really care about that. Special summon Jet. Jet's going to allow me to get starter. Gigantic Sprite's going to activate, and I get blue. Blue effects going to activate, allow me to get Jets. And at this point, I'm going to link off into Elf. Elf's effects going to activate, allow me to get red. At this point, he called by the Graves. He called by as my Elf. I'm like, that's fine. I'm not going to negate that. I could have, but there's no point to it. So yeah, at this point, like I said, I'm feeling really confident. I activate starter. Starter is going to allow me to get blue. And at this point, I'm just going to go for damage, but my opponent just concedes. So yeah, you can see Spright. It could play through a lot of negation. It's really good. I love it.